did this. It's such a dumbass thing for him to do, but it's still one of these things where it's like, it's really funny. It's funny regardless. Are you ready? Ready?
Yeah.
And I feel like something happened like 10 years ago where it's like you have to think that every single person who fought for the Confederate side was an evil person. And I just think that's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I feel like something happened like 10 years ago where
No, what was so stupid is that you said it that way. But he's not wrong, right? He's not actually wrong, because was everybody who fought for the Confederacy an evil person? No, they were not. The vast majority of people who fought for the Confederacy were just regular people like you and me who didn't know. And like, think about how dumb the average person is today and about how little they know about world politics or even United States politics or even their own local politics or politics in general, right? They don't know anything. Now imagine you have some fucking redneck from the 1840s and he's being called up to serve his country to fight in a war. Do you think he knows what the fuck's going on? I mean, like I'm pretty sure at this time they still had people who would take newspapers all over the country from like New York and DC and places like that, where you would have, and they would go out and they would read it to the rural communities, right? They'd take a paper from like New York City, that was like the New York Times, right? And then they'd take a train and then they'd go to like distant rural areas around the United States and literally fucking read the paper like a goddamn town crier. So these individuals who we are currently discussing, they ended up fighting in the infantry in the Confederacy. Were they evil? Well, of course they weren't. It's the exact same thing about how many Germans fought on the side of the Nazis and they weren't actually evil. How many of the good men died at the very, especially the ones who would have like fought back against the really bad shit that Big H Man was doing. Dude, my computer, dude. Oh my God. The Big H Man was doing. Who died at the beginning of the war? Were they evil because they fought for the Nazi side? No. See, this is the thing. Evil requires intent, number one. And number two, you have to be aware that this used to be the norm, right? Like what Big H guy did, this was the norm all throughout history. Not in the industrial slaughter of an ethnic group, but just how he conducted himself or how the country conducted themselves as far as war and conquest and ethnic cleansing and even genocide were concerned. These are things that literally everyone had done before them. And so you can understand why they thought they could get away with it, kind of deal, right? It's because it was something that people have been doing all throughout history. And it's just kind of like, yeah, it's bad, but we're going to do it anyway, right? And so we're talking about the Confederacy. So this is before all the Big H guy, before the West became the most evil fucking thing because, communists can't stop saying it. And we bring up people like Robert E. Lee, who chose to defend his state, his home, over his country. And I would not consider that man evil. You can say that he is, that's fine. But he actually had conviction. He actually had a principle. He did not like slavery. And yet he still fought for his home of Virginia when it joined the war. And why did Virginia join the war? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. They were, it was always like 2-1 pro-slavery in Virginia, yet they still sided with the Union until the North invaded the South. Isn't that interesting? It's almost like several of the states didn't want nothing to do with it. But then when somebody decides to declare war and start killing people, well, you can't stand by that. So yeah, this is one of those things. It's like, it's not a very smart thing for him to say or do necessarily. Maybe it is. I don't know. He's got the like Trump thing in the background.
It's like,
what is that right there? What is that? Is that a signature? It's got to be a signature. Anyway, The thing that, you know what the funny thing is? I actually don't like that picture. Because you know what they took out of it? Do you know what they took out of it? They took out the most important part of it, the American flag. That's what they took out of it. Look at that. Look at that. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, this flames and shit, why isn't that the American flag, right? That would be cool. But no, it's all, like you ain't beating the fucking whole cult thing, I'm telling you right now. You ain't beating that. You ain't beating that with that picture there, buddy. But yeah, so it's not necessarily the smartest thing for JD Vance to say right about now. However, it could be advantageous later, because it is true that not everybody who fought on the Confederate side was an evil person. In fact, the Confederates were Americans. Yes, they were. Confederate soldiers are American soldiers. Yes, they were almost all of them were given honors as American veterans of the American Armed Forces, even though they rebelled, even though they fought against their own brothers. The reason was reconciliation, because our country would not have survived. Like, you can say, oh, we should punish them, we should do this, we should do that. But if you did all of that, you think it's bad now with all the people who are still sore over the Confederacy losing, which, let's be real, there really aren't that many people. Like, I'm from the South. I grew up with all the South will rise again shit. And for the most part, the South will rise again is literally just a fucking meme. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Almost every single fucking person who ever had a flag like that, my uncle, his fucking drinking buddies, all these motherfuckers are all some of the most pro-American motherfuckers you could ever meet. Yeah, they talk all that smack. Let a French guy talk shit about America. Let the Canadians fucking step up, and you'll exactly see what kind of how they back up the how the stars and bars just kind of fall away, and the fucking hawk screech comes in the background, and the fucking oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, it's just one of these things. I wanted to talk about this because it is true. It is absolutely true. And again, like I said, almost all Confederate soldiers are American veterans. They are considered as such, and the reason is for reconciliation purposes. We needed to reunite the country, and it's stupid when you need to reunite the country to treat them evilly, because that's one of the things that comes out of modern Christian religion that I do agree with, is that sometimes you need to forgive simply to move the fuck on, because holding a grudge and hatred in your heart will only make it worse, and it will only poison you as well as everyone around you. And this is why we are the United States of America, is because when the Confederacy was rolled back the fuck in, they were made part of the United States of America. And so they're all Americans. Yes, they rebelled, which they were put down for, as they should have been. But Americans they were, Americans they are, and Americans they will forever stand.